Need you to look at this. I got this DoorDash order going to the school. I don't know why it's going to the school, but I can't go there because of Mr. Elliott's terrorism and bullying. So let's see what we can do. I gotta call him. They're asking me not to call Mr. Elliott.
Good morning, Watauga County School.
So this is DoorDash, and I'm calling Mr. Elliott because I can't go on the property to make a drop. I thought we had addressed this. This is David Grigg.
Mr. Grigg, where are you trying to deliver?
To the customer, which happens to be at 300 Pioneer Drive.
Okay, just one moment, please.
A reminder, it has to be a written authorization to continue my normal business in the community.
Just a moment. We'll get it handled. Just a moment, sir.
I think they're working on it. Let's see what happens. I think something's happening. We'll do something about this.
Let me transfer you. Just one moment, sir.
Hello.
Mr. Elliott, this is David Grigg.
Hello, Mr. Grigg.
So I'm doing this DoorDash, and because of your order, I can't complete the task. I thought we
don't take orders that deliver to our schools. You're no trespassed. If you show up there, you'll be arrested.
I can't take orders on destination. I can only work my normal business.
Would you like for me to have someone meet you somewhere to pick it up?
Well, I told them to meet me at the sign, and they wouldn't. So, even in light of all the history that has come forth, you're going to keep on pushing this. I never made a threat, sir. If you could show me...
or act crazy and put things on social media, I wouldn't have to no trespass you, David.
Put things on social media.
If you wouldn't say we're crazy, God needs to come take us, I need to eat a pistol, we need to be pistol.
I didn't never say that.
I have them.
And if you do have it, let me have it in a court of law. If I threatened you in a capacity...
I will have you arrested. Do you understand?
Do you understand that you tried to abduct my child and you're using your resources to abridge my rights? I've never threatened this guy at all. Eat a pistol is suicide. Go for it. Go for it if you're going to use the tools in your toolbox to abduct children and harass parents. In context, charge me with something. No, man, I can't make a living. No, man, you don't understand. I can't make a living. I have no due processes. I have no champion. It's only me. For me and my family. Oh, you heard.
Time by pressing 9 and the extension. Otherwise, please choose from one of the following 3 options. For the jail detention center, press 1. For communications dispatch, press 2. For the communications.
Yeah, this is David Grigg, trying to make a living and getting shut down by the superintendent on my second delivery. I don't know who would be the officer I need to discuss this with, but hello.
Okay. Where were you making the delivery at?
It was to 300 Pioneers. It was to the high school. So I set the delivery down at the sign and took a picture and completed it. I want to meet up with the guy. He said somebody got it before he got up there to the sign to get it. So I'll reimburse that guy. But to listen to, the superintendent actually took the phone call today. He really lost his composure, and he illustrated that he's got the same frustration I got, because he's claiming I threatened him. I did not threaten him, and I have not threatened anybody. I've been accused of threatening everybody since 2011, and you know, this action they took was in 2018. So you know, I've been brutalized through this whole episode of censorship, to the point to where, I mean, it's fact, bro. It's fact that our government has gone rogue, and I need a defense. Huh?
You said it was 300 Pioneer Trail?
Yeah. What I'm talking about is the superintendent's stance that I've threatened somebody. I hadn't threatened nobody. If I have threatened somebody, it's going to fall back on the sheriff's department to investigate and do their due diligence, along with the SBI. And apparently they don't think that my material was of threatening nature. He might not liked it, but you go and you try to abduct a child from a parent, and I'm not there to be your friend anymore. I'm quite the adversary at that point, because you're criminally taking a child out of the classroom, criminally subjecting him to conversation so you can build a narrative to use the apparatus of the government to try to abduct that child with a storyline you were concealing to narrate.
Okay. Were you trying to deliver to the Board of Education?
No, it was to the high school. I called the county and told them it's not appropriate for people in these schools to be ordering food as long as it's inhibiting people from making a living. Man, this is really getting I'm a single parent. I'm struggling every day since the beginning in 2013 all the way through today. Every little.
Are you the only one that delivers at that address, or?
Huh?
I mean, is there somebody else that can deliver to that?
I done dropped it off at the sign, and somebody snatched it before the guy could walk out and get it. There's no way for us to comprehensively. We don't get an address before we accept the delivery. We get a little map that shows us a rough expectation, but I'm in the area all the time. Either the schools, something's got to give. I'm calling you because I want to discuss charges on superintendent or on me to get it in the due processes state where it should have been from the day one.
David, listen to me. What's your phone number, and I'll have an officer call you?
828-964-3841.
3841? Okay, I'll have an officer give you a call, and you can discuss that with him, okay?
It'd be appreciated.
Okay, yes, sir. Communications.
Yes, sir. I had an officer trying to call David Grigg. but I didn't answer it in time. It didn't even ring, so.
Okay. Let me see if I can get in touch with him, okay?
Right.
Hold just a second, I'll transfer you. Talking 104.
Huh? Oh, you said 104. You're dispatching.
104, go ahead. We're putting that subject. Lieutenant Morrison.
Morrison, this is David Grigg. So, I was doing the DoorDash, and I got another one for the high school, right? So I called the superintendent to get permission, try to get consent, because there's no way to hand it off, you know. And he stated some stuff that I kind of feel due process is. I mean, you know, he served me with a paper, you know, and I know I could challenge it, make you damn arrest me, and then I'd have a ability to go through court, but that'd just be not the proper way to approach this. And me paying the courts on the federal level and all this ransom and stuff, I don't have it. And he's saying that I threatened him. I never threatened him. I said somebody who does this kind of stuff, you know, and I won't give you the big spill, would do us all a favor to alleviate the problem for us, you know. I mean, yeah, it was harsh, man, but I've been getting attacked with communicating threats since 2013 on a day I wasn't even out of bed, didn't even have the capacity to make a phone call, and this has escalated ever since, because there's certain things that need to be recognized and discussed, and if they're not willing to discuss it, they just want to work in the shadows to create a narrative to pursue their objective of disrupting a family. I don't know how to be pleasant to that. I thought we had standards established, that, and then I read the standards that were established, and Mrs. Jensen having my son in counselor sessions for more than one visit without notifying the parent that there was a concern is criminal. Unless she had a concern, and then it's negligence, because she should have called DSS the very first day, not housed the child out of the classroom and tried to create a narrative. That's the criminal aspect. They took the child out of the classroom, isolated them with the counselor to cultivate a narrative of despair, to craft a petition, and it's all these little pebbles add up to my child's financial security's dwindling, you know. And now we got the solid proof evidence that they were behind the scenes goading me the whole time on social media by inhibiting me from disseminating well composed, well documented grievances. It's in black and white that these people, the elements in this community's government, have been perpetrating these actions against the residents, me being a prime example at this point of illicit activities being perpetrated by Mr. Elliott and other elements in the government of the county that aren't fully identified. Now, I've brought this to the officer's attention, Mrs. Rebecca Russell, months and years ago, about vandalization of what we choose to communicate and talk about. Everybody says you promote this stuff on social media. Well, it's my timeline. And unless you're stalking me, how can I'm not communicating to you at all. So something has to be done to implement due process. I don't think what I said, promoting self-harm, which is rude, but I feel like I've been offended in an offensive manner for years. It's rude, but it's not criminal.
I hear you. What can I do for you? I mean, what can I do for you today?
I don't know, man. I feel I'm sitting here damn missing the peak hours because I don't want this scenario to keep repeating itself. I had to shimmer the cold hands and shakes after having to revisit this and rehash this without, I mean, I can't move forward with somebody bullying me in this community. I've not done a criminal offense, but I have black and white paper illustrations of being bullied away from being able to exercise my rights and perform my normal business. So somebody has to prosecute somebody criminally. It shouldn't fall on me to have to go to a court when a criminal offense has been identified. It's not a civil matter. It wasn't a civil matter the first time they identified that they'd been taking my child out of the classroom. It's a criminal matter.
I understand what you're saying. I will tell you though that a lot of times it's up to the offended to start the process with the magistrate.
The magistrate wants to bully and terrorize me as well.
Well, that's who I would have to go to as well. I mean, that's in this, the way that the system is set up, I only have one recourse. That's going to the magistrate, which you have the same recourse. If the magistrate has told you.
So I can identify a criminal act perpetrated to officers of law enforcement, and they cannot take a little bit of our tax money and implement it in an investigative role with clarity and transparency to alleviate the burden of these actions that are taken away from my I can't make a living with these kind of pressures coming from these people.
Let me ask you, can I ask you one question? I'm not familiar with, this is over DoorDash this morning, correct?
Well, currently, yeah. Now, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question because I'm not familiar with how DoorDash works.
They send you a price.
I understand it's kind of independent.
It's independent. They send you a price. You accept the price. It shows you a map, but the map is not precise. Does not get you within a block from your overview, and then you got the choice to accept it or not accept it. And it's not a clear picture, by no means. It gets you in the general
so that was
Perkinsville.
You answered my question. So it doesn't necessarily say,
300 Pioneer Land. No, if it stated where it was going.
It gives you an area.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and there's a lot of commerce right there. There's a lot of commerce right there.
I understand. Yeah, there's a lot of houses.
But I'm not just addressing this today. I mean, I feel like I'm melting here with the stresses of me trying to procure the funding for my bills, and this constant harassment and manipulation that is being perpetrated by and being proven to be perpetrated by government actors. In my case, concretely solidifies all this espionage being perpetrated. Because, you know, I just had an alternative view. And apparently that's illegal now, according to the powers that have control over the Internet of Things. And it's not me on a social media platform. It's literally down to the connection and the community would glitch away for my writings and my composure to vanish. Everything I make that was composed properly, compellingly, and solidly was taken away. And this goes back to 2011. And it's criminal. And now we have 100% chain of command evidence with this letter, these accusations, and the multiple offenses of vandalizing my social media that I have documented and that the chronicles of history have documented. The perpetration is real. The infliction is real. And it has dire implementations on my abilities to procure an earnest living.
Okay. I 100% hear what you're saying.
All right, man. I don't know what more to do. My battery's going dead. I guess I'm going to go home and sit on my ass and try to come back out this evening and recoup a little of my composure. There's greater things to work on than this. But
I would agree with that.
We haven't been able to move forward since 2011. And I'm frustrated.
I would be more than willing to give you maybe some other avenues that might be beneficial to you if you would like. You know, the unfortunate thing with...
I'm sure Mr. Elliott's been searching for these answers too. I'm empathetic to him because he doesn't know that we have laws, rules, and regulations. He wasn't enshrined with them that prevent what they did to me and my family.
Thing that I'm trying to figure out to help you is a way to move forward. And I know you say you've been to the magistrate. I don't know what they said. Like I said, that's my route to go. The only other option that I would tell you that you'd have, and unfortunately,
you know what they told me? They said if you're going to protect yourself with that camera, we're going to arrest you. That's what they told me in no uncertain words.
Well, I would say that unfortunately, the way our system is set up, sometimes you might have to incur some costs that could be recouped on the back end.
Oh, I'm sure.
Once your stuff is dealt with. But, you know, if you were to seek legal counsel on your own...
Good luck with that.
They have some better routes to circumvent things that seem like are being put your way. Because like I said, I can go to the magistrate, but that's his magistrate and DA. Once they tell me no, I have no powers beyond that. You know, but like I said, legal counsel may have some other options for you, unfortunately.
So that is an avenue of discretion that obstructs justice, is the current established magistrate system. That is something to look at. We will look at that. All right, man. Well, I have to reach out. I have to try, but I can't. I don't have $440 right now to allocate to a civil litigation process, which I can't find any.
I know. Trust me, I know.
It's systematic, man. I can't afford. Well, I'm going home. I'll come back out tonight. All right, man.
Well, if you have any other questions, feel free to give me a call.
Well, I mean, you know, we got to have some transparency. We got to have something. And there's so much evidence out here. You guys cannot hide from the inflictions that are being perpetrated under your watches as officers lawfully.
I get what you're saying.
All right, man.
Like I said,
well, that's all right. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. I understand. Officers are limited in a capacity. I do. But I have to put you on warning to be implicit in concealing of evidence that should be being forwarded to higher agencies is the same thing as being implicit with the illegal actions reported. All right, thank you.